What's good, YouTube? It's your boy KB with JusDueBoxing back with another video. So I'm gonna get right into this one, man. So we all know the news that came out with the WBC, ordering several fights, several good fights. And one of my personal favorites was them ordering Shakur Stevenson versus Isaac Pitbull Cruz. And my first thoughts, I'm like, man, that'd be a hell of a test, hell of a welcome to 135 fight for Shakur Stevenson. So that's something that I definitely support 100%. Something that I definitely would want to watch because I feel like Pitbull Cruz will present a different set of challenges for Shakur Stevenson. And it would be interesting to see how the styles play out. It'll be interesting to see just how well Shakur Stevenson deals with the pressure style of a Pitbull Cruz. But then, more recently, there's been a statement released by, Pitbull Cruz, father, Cruz Sr., and it's very concerning, especially for the fans and the people that would wanted to see the Shakur Stevenson matchup versus a Pitbull Cruz. And, Cruz Sr. went on to say, I'd rather see my son fight Lomachenko. He's an easier fight and we will stop him. Shakur fight will be extremely boring, running all over the ring like a dog chasing a cat. We probably make more money fighting other fighters. So that's a quote directly from Cruz Sr. And I feel like that's ducking. A lot of times we use the word duck, we use that term in the sport of boxing and it's misused. But this right here, this is a prime example of ducking quality opposition. Now, just to be clear, this didn't come from Pitbull himself. But again, this is coming from his father, somebody that's directly involved in his team and is being a mouthpiece for him, so to speak. He's being a mouthpiece for him. And this is very concerning for the people that wanted to see this fight. And like I said, if we just being honest, this is the prime example of ducking. What I'm getting annoyed with Pitbull Cruz is since he's faced Tank Davis and came up short, he's faced he's had 2 fights since then, and he's had knockouts in both fights. He's 24-2-1 with 17 KOs. He's only 24 years old. He's 5'4" with a 63-inch reach. He's fighting out of Mexico. The last time we seen him in the ring was September 4th, where he got a second-round KO over Eduardo Ramirez. He knocked Ramirez, down twice in the fight, in the second round, and ultimately knocking him out with ease. But he was sloppy doing it. It wasn't impressive. And although the end result might have been impressive to the people, maybe the highlight reels type knockout he got over Ramirez was impressive. But the way he got the work done wasn't impressive. He was very sloppy, throwing himself all balanced, swinging and missing real big. He swung and threw himself in between the ropes in one of the rounds. And I believe it might have been the first round or second round when he got extra zealous trying to get the knockout. So before that, we seen him April 16th in the ring where he got a 5th round KO over Yuriorkis Gamboa, who we all know is a shell of himself. And he completely dominated Gamboa. He blitzed him, knocking him down in rounds 2, 3, and 4, ultimately getting a 5th round KO. But we all know, again, he was very sloppy in that fight. It just wasn't, he wasn't poised. He wasn't under control. He was very amateur-like, swinging, loading up on every shot, swinging real hard, throwing himself all balanced once again. Meanwhile, this guy is constantly campaigning for a fight with Tank Davis. And I honestly, wholeheartedly, in my humble, honest opinion, don't believe that he deserves a Tank Davis rematch. Those knockouts, a knockout over Yuriorkis Gamboa and a relatively unknown Eduardo Ramirez does not get you a Tank Davis rematch. And again, I could see if the performances were A+ performances, and like I said, you're getting the knockouts, that's cool, but it's not impressive how you getting your work done and you very sloppy. And it looked like you had a one-off performance against Tank and you raised your level that night, but since then you've been unable to come anywhere near close that type of performance in terms of being poised and under control. He fought a certain way when he fought Tank Davis, and I was impressed with it. And I felt like he raised his level that night because he knew he was in there with a top-level elite fighter in Tank Davis. But since then, it seems like not only has he went back to his old ways, being wild and loading up on shots, he's actually fighting down to the competition. And I just don't think that those two performances get him a rematch with Tank Davis. I think he needs to get in the ring with Shakur Stevenson. I think his father needs to accept the challenge. You know, the WBC has ordered this fight. I think he should take it head on. And if you want to convince the boxing world that you want another shot at Tank Davis, what better way to earn a shot than beating a Shakur Stevenson, an unbeaten silver medalist, an Olympian? You know what I mean? A 2-division champion. You get what I'm saying? That he was just a unified champion at 130. What better fight to take than a Shakur Stevenson? If you were able to beat him, then maybe you can make an argument that you deserve a Tank Davis fight, because you would have then had beat one of the most elite, you know, fighters, young fighters in today's boxing. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, until you beat somebody either more notable, more credible, you know what I mean, I just don't think you deserve a Tank Davis fight. And I for one, I don't want to see it. The only part of me that's wanting to see this Tank Davis fight is because you begging for it. And I just want to see Tank get in there and do what I think he would have did in the first fight had he not hurt his hand, and which is knock you out. So we're going to see how all this shakes out. But again, this is the prime example of ducking. You know what I'm saying? You got Pitbull Cruz father, Cruz Sr. coming out saying, you know, Shakur is boring. It'd be like a dog chasing a cat, or, you know, that's code word for we don't want to fight you because you too good. You say boring because you know he got the skills that your son lack. So you talking about making money fights. And that, again, you just played your hand. This is why you want the Tank fight. Y'all don't necessarily feel like y'all could beat Tank. You just want another payday. And that's sad, because I respected Pitbull, but the way they're moving, you know, it's starting to make me question, you know, just how good Pitbull is and what their intentions are. You don't really feel like you had an opportunity to fight Tank and beat him. You had half a fight to fight him when he had one hand and you couldn't do nothing. You couldn't do nothing with him. Now you mean to tell me you want a rematch and you supposed to be able to do something with him when he has two hands, because it's highly unlikely that he hurt his hand again in a rematch. But it's just not something I care to see. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. That's my just do on it, man. I think Shakur Stevenson is too good, just like Bob Arum said, and he predicted it. You know, he said Pitbull Cruz would go in another direction, and now you hear what his father has to say, and you got to give Bob Arum credit. He was 100% accurate with this. But again, this is ducking. This is not good for the sport. Pitbull, if he won a shot at Tank Davis, he should be willing to take on any and all comers, especially a young talent like Shakur Stevenson. The fact that he's unwilling to get in the ring says a lot about him. And I think he's simply looking for a payday against Tank Davis that he simply don't deserve. But y'all get in that comment section. Let me know what y'all think about Pitbull Cruz playing Duck Cruz and not electing to fight at Shakur Stevenson, nor does he have any interest in fighting at Devin Haney, which is also him avoiding quality opposition. But let me know what y'all think, man. Also, let me know that I gave Shakur Stevenson and Isak Duck Bull Cruz his just due, because that's what I do over here at Just Do Boxing. To the next one, I'm out. Peace.